guess I'll start by kind of how I got started. I met Ernie and Adam and a lot of these guys when I was 19, 20 years old. I was an intern. I started at ESPN Radio right here in Chicago, right down the road. And Adam was the first guy that I actually worked for. So after I had gotten coffees and hamburgers for him at McDonald's down the street, and he realized I actually wanted to learn and stuff, he let me do a lot of work when I was at ESPN Radio. So that's how I got my start. I went to a small town, about 3,000 people in northwest Iowa. It's called Spirit Lake. It's about 10 minutes from the Minnesota state line. It's freezing cold. Apparently, it's great during the summertime because it's by lakes and all these people show up like tourists. But I was there from October until April when there's 85 inches of snow on the ground, and I'm freezing cold, and I'm driving 50 miles to another high school to go do a doubleheader basketball game. But that's how I cut my teeth. I was waking up at 6 a.m. to do a morning show, doing sportscasts, all that stuff. I kept telling myself, I have to do this. You know, I'm getting paid for it. It's a full-time job. I got benefits. I'm getting paid for it. I've got to cut my teeth. I left that job after about 8 months, got a lot of great experience, but realized I wanted to focus strictly on calling games. So I went back to minor league baseball, went to New Jersey for 2010. Got a job calling minor league baseball for a team called the Somerset Patriots, 140 games during the summer. I was on buses from April until October, just riding around the Northeast doing games every single day. You do 140 games in 160 days. Not a lot of downtime. You're working, but that's what I wanted to do. I came back to Chicago, started freelancing for a bunch of companies. For a lot of people that I used to work for in college, they were nice enough to give me chances because they knew that I was going to give them quality work. I was going to work hard for them, so they took a chance on me. Went back to New Jersey in 2011, got noticed by a couple of the right people, and put a resume tape together for them, and eventually it landed me at ESPN at 24. Typical week, and I'm a guy who calls a bunch of different sports for ESPN, so I guess a typical week would be, Tuesday I'm doing conference calls. I do volleyball on Wednesdays on ESPNU. I'll do a football game on the weekend, whether it's Friday or Saturday for ESPN, and then I'll go do an NFL game on Sunday. Tuesday, I'm sitting around in my boxers, laying around at home, but I'm working. I mean, I'm taking notes. I'm doing everything I can. I've got a flight scheduled, usually Tuesday night. I'll fly to the site of our Wednesday matchup. We've got a production meeting on Wednesday morning. We'll do the match later that night after we get a chance to meet with both coaches and some of the players. I wake up on Thursday. I'm taking another flight to wherever our next site is. If I'm doing a Friday college game, we've got conference calls scheduled on Thursday as well. And a meeting with the home coaches. So I'll get into the site on Thursday, have a production meeting, meet with the home team coaches, get all my stuff together. We've got notes that get sent to us, clippings from newspapers that get sent to us. A lot of preparation takes place over the course of that week. Friday, production meeting again in the morning. We'll do the game Friday night. Saturday, I'm flying to my NFL game. Get in Saturday night, kind of relax a little bit, finish up my prep work. Sunday, do the game, and fly back Sunday night. Got about a day, 24, 36 hours at home before we got to do it all over again. Important skill in this business in general, no matter what you want to do. You want to be a reporter, you want to be a play-by-play guy, you want to be an anchor. You got to be a good writer, first and foremost. Because if you don't understand writing, if you don't understand why you're trying to deliver a story, why you're telling somebody something about this person that they've never met before, if you don't understand how to deliver that, you're probably not going to do a good job of telling that story for that game, that human. You got to remember these are human beings too. So I think maybe the most important skill above all is to figure out how to be a good writer, how to be concise when you need to be concise, how to be flowery, and kind of give it a little bit of a little bit of spice to it when you need to. I think those are important. I'll give you this quick story and I'll get out of your way. In 2010, when I was in New Jersey doing minor league baseball, the only reason I'm even here right now is Ian Eagle is a broadcaster at CBS, does the Brooklyn Nets, does NFL, does NCAA, does NFL and radio too. He's a great guy, one of the best human beings around, and a great broadcaster. He has a sportscasting camp he does every year, brings all of his students to our ballpark and has them kind of go over the course of a day of a broadcast. I talk to his class, they talk to managers and players, and they do a game. They all line up in the suites and they all do a two-person broadcast. I got done talking with Ian's class, and it's 6 o'clock. We got a 7 o'clock first pitch. I haven't prepped at all for that night's game. So I got to hurry up and get to the booth. I'm walking up the stairs on my way to the booth, and I turn around, and Ian's standing down there with our PR guy. And I'm going, if I don't go down there and talk to him for 5 minutes and ask him a couple of questions, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life. How often do you get an opportunity to go ask somebody like that in his position, as good as he is, for just a couple of minutes? You know, I walked back down there. I didn't ask him anything right away, but I just kind of like, you know, chatted for a few minutes, and for whatever reason, he and I hit it off. You know, he took an interest in me, and he gave me his email address. Said, if you have any questions, you know, don't hesitate. Sure enough, I took him up on the offer, and we started a correspondence, and he became somebody that I really relied on. He became a mentor of mine. When 2011 rolled around, I got a phone call from his agent and said, Ian won't shut up about you. He says, you got a good tape, you got a bright future, I want to see if he's right. Send me a tape. I sent that guy a tape. That guy turned out to be my agent. He's the reason I'm at ESPN right now. If I didn't take those 5 minutes to go down and talk to Ian about just whatever, we were shooting the breeze at first, you know, and then I asked him a couple questions for some advice. If I didn't do that, I know it sounds crazy. I don't know if I'd be here right now. I don't know if I'd be working at ESPN. I might still be in New Jersey riding buses.
When you're an intern and someone says to you, oh, this kid could be my boss one day, he was my intern and now I'm calling him for favors to come on my show and talk about Bears-Vikings before the game. So it can happen, all right? Guys, give it up for Adam.